Right, so remember how every leak was saying the next generation iPad Air 5 was definitely getting OLED? Well, now apparently that's not the case because, as per the norm in the world of Apple leaks, we have a source coming out of nowhere to confuse things and basically says that iPads aren't getting OLED till 2023. So yeah, let's delve into this pretty interesting report. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so you may be wondering who this random source is, and it's actually Ross Young, who is the CEO of DSCC, which is, I think, Display Supplier Chain. Cool? Sounds about right. Anyways, these guys know a lot about future displays on smartphones, tablets, any consumer tech device, and so yes, we can trust this information over the previous reports. And well, DSCC released a report regarding OLED revenue growing by 11% by 2025, and this could be due to Apple adopting OLED on the iPads by 2023. So yeah, there's that. Apparently we're not seeing OLED on the iPads till 2023 and not 2022 as initially expected. Now, some of you might notice that the report does not specifically mention which iPad is getting OLED in 2023, and you might remember that the elec did say the iPad Pro could be getting OLED by 2023, and so is there a chance that maybe the iPad Air was not getting OLED in the first place and we could see iPad Pros get OLED instead in 2023? Well, no, that's not happening because Ross Young has already made it clear the next generation iPad Air should be getting OLED and not the iPad Pro. In fact, he says the iPad Pro, as far as he knows, should be staying with Mini LED. And so yes, expect OLED on the iPad Air and possibly other lower end iPads, and Mini LED to stay as a Pro exclusive. And this does make sense, to be honest, because OLED does not get as bright as Mini LED, and obviously on a Pro tablet, Apple wants to flex the brightness of the display, and so yes, I'm sure Apple wants to maintain the high peaks of brightness they have right now with Mini LED on the iPad Pro. And also do remember the OLED on the iPad Air is a rigid form of the technology, and so that basically means the colors should be worse, the brightness, the contrast ratio should all be inferior to Mini LED, and so yes, it makes no sense to bring that over to the iPad Pro. But since the iPad Air does have an LCD display, it makes sense to make the jump over to the superior OLED display and get those inky blacks that everyone tingles over. And also do remember the rigid form of OLED is as cheap as LCD to make, and so that's why it's coming to the iPad Air 5 instead of the more expensive Mini LED technology. Now, as for the next iPad Air 5, I'm still not sure whether we're going to see two separate refreshes or maybe Apple just pushes back the OLED model, because if Apple does release a new iPad Air 5 next year without OLED, what other massive improvements is it going to bring? Because we're bound to get a new chip, but the A14 is still very snappy, and so yes, I think there is a chance that maybe Apple does not touch the iPad Air line till they can give us OLED in 2023. So yeah, that's all the information on OLED iPads, and I do agree with Ross Young. I do believe we'll see the next generation iPad Air with OLED in 2023. And to add to this, I do want to say that Ming-Chi usually gets his actual info completely right, but the timelines are always a little wonky, and so the fact he says this iPad Air should be launching in 2022 could easily mean he's off by a year or so, and well, that adds more credibility to Ross Young being right. But anyways, let me know in the comments below what's your thoughts on this report. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the card above about details regarding the 2022 iPad Pro. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps!